Now I'm ready to add a connection string. So let me close HTML just so I don't mistake any of my HTML tags for ASP tags while I'm working. And I'm going to scroll down, grab my SQL data source control, bring it into the page, configure data source. We want connection string 1. And this time, we're going to create a custom SQL statement. So I want you to click the Custom SQL Statement option. Next, let me bring this up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Unfortunately, if you click on the Query Builder button, you'll see that the Custom Query Builder doesn't work for SQL yet in this version of Expression Web. But if you know a little bit about what you're doing, you can type in a query manually. So that's what I'm going to do here. But to save you typing this whole string of text that has to be typed exactly as I'm going to give it to you, I've included it in your text file. So if you've still got that open, you can just Alt-Tab, switch back over to Notepad. If not, again, you'll find this in your Lesson 4 folder. This time I'm going to copy all of the text under Custom SQL Statement. So from Select to the end of ID. And again, Control-C to copy, Alt-Tab to switch back, and Control-V to paste. Let me explain a little bit about what's happening in this custom query. And I'll tell you, if you know the names of the tables and rows in your own database, you should be able to use this same query to do what I'm doing for your own site. Essentially, what this query says is, select everything from the listings table, that's the asterisk right here after listings, and then from the agents table, select only salutation, first name, last name, and title. Finally, I have a where statement here. And that's instructing to join the rows of both of these tables only where the agent ID, which is a field within the listings table, matches the ID column in the agents table. Let me step back for a second and tell you my goal for all of this, and then we'll talk a little more about what's happening here. What I want to do here is combine content from my listings table and my agents table so that I can create one page that has all of my listings and has the agent who's associated with each of those listings. I want to do that so that my little friends at Snug as a Bug can make it as easy as possible for their tiny visitors to find the appropriate agent when they find the listing they might want to buy on this page. So this is all about bringing in content from two different tables, displaying it on one page so that you can associate content. And that where statement, which is looking at the agent ID in the agent table and making sure that it matches the agent ID in the listings table, is there to make sure that I only get the listings once. If you don't create a where statement like this, then every agent will be listed for every listing. So if you had 10 listings and 10 agents, you'd end up with 100 rows on your listing page when you really only want 10. And that would be a mess. So if you're creating a page like this with two tables, you're welcome to use this custom string. Just make sure that you replace the content in here exactly as I have it, your table names, your column names, in each of the places that I have agent or listing or a column name. And I have to say, this is another one of those places where if you're a designer who doesn't have a programming background, having a programmer on your team can be enormously helpful in creating these kinds of custom statements for you. Assuming you have this exactly the way you want it, let's click Next, and we can now test to make sure that that works. And now you can see I have every field from my listings table as well as the fields that I specified from my agents table. Okay, click Finish, and we're ready to move on.